Good morning students, hope you all are well. So today we are going to discuss our next chapter, that is the five kingdom classification. So in this chapter we will discuss all the five kingdom and their characteristics and the divisions. So what are the five kingdoms? Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So all these five kingdoms are the main five kingdoms which exist in our world, and after that this kingdom can be divided into different class, phylum, class, order, family and all. So start with this kingdom Monera, or it is the kingdom of prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means the primitive cell. You know what is prokaryotes. So these prokaryotes include mainly three types: bacteria, archaebacteria and the blue-green algae. So we can divide this Monera into main three groups. Eubacteria means the true bacteria, archaebacteria means the ancient bacteria and the cyanobacteria, that means the blue-green algae. So let's start with the eubacteria or the true bacteria. So Antony van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch lens maker who first gave the name to the bacteria animalcules, okay, and after that Louis Pasteur studied them, and Robert Koch found that some disease like tuberculosis, cholera and this kind of disease occur in man, and the branch of this science that deals with the study of bacteria, that is known as bacteriology. So let's start. What are the characteristics of bacteria? So they are the unicellular prokaryotic organism. Only one cell is there, and the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan and the mucopeptides. Okay, so instead of the proper nucleus, they have the double-stranded DNA, but the DNA lies coiled inside the cytoplasm, and that is called the nucleoid. And some cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi body, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, these are absent. As you know, these are absent in case of the primitive cells or in case of the prokaryotic cells. And the common mode of multiplication, that is the binary fission, and sometimes they reproduce by conjugation also. So let's see what are the shape and size of this bacteria. Okay, so the bacteria, you know, these are the smallest of the cellular organism, and without any microscope we cannot see them. So the shape of this bacteria, like the bacillus, is the length of this bacteria is from 0.2 to 1 micron, and some spherical bacteria have the length of 0.5 to 1 micron and all. So let's see what are the different shapes of this bacteria. First is the coccus or the cocci, that is oval or spherical in shape, the first figure. Okay, so monococci means only one cell is there. Diplococci, two cells are there. Okay, staphylococci means chains of this coccus cell, they are attached with each other, and streptococci, that is the chain like structure, and staphylococci, that means they occur in grape like cluster like form. Okay, so these are coccus, round or spherical, oval or spherical in shape. Next is the bacillus. They are rod shaped bacteria or without flagella, they don't have the flagella. So the single one is bacillus, and if they are present in pairs, they are diplobacillus, or if they are present in chains, they are known as streptobacillus. Okay, streptococci, chain, if any chain is there, that is streptococci or streptobacillus. Next figure, see the spiral one, that is coil like structure, so it is spirillum. And the last one, that is the vibrio structure, that is the small and motile, it is a comma like structure and with a flagellum. Okay, so the vibrio have the flagella, so the example of this vibrio form is Vibrio cholerae. Okay, so next is the flagellation, that means the bacteria, either presence or the absence of bacteria. So the first one is are trichous. That means first see the diagram, the number A1, that means it has no flagella or the flagella is absent. So we can see this kind of structure in case of lactobacillus. Next figure number B, that is monotrichous. As you can see, only one flagella is there, so we can see this kind of structure in Vibrio cholerae. Number C, two flagella are there, so they are attached at each end. So example is Nitrosomonas. Okay, so it is amphitrichous. Amphi means both, so two flagella are there. Next is number D. So it is cephalotrichous. Many flagella are present but only at one end, as you can see in the diagram. So it is Pseudomonas fluorescens. And number E, that is Lophotrichus. Lophotrichus means many flagella are present at the both the sides. So it is Spirillum. And the last one, the F number, that is Peritrichus. Periphery, all the flagellas are present, a number of flagella are present all over the body. So it is Peritrichus, that is Salmonella typhi, or sometimes E. coli also. Okay, so let's start with the structure of the bacteria. I think already you have read about the structure of the bacteria. First see the diagram. Okay, first see the diagram. So flagella is present there, this long tail like structure, that is the flagella. Next, cilia also are present there, and after that there is the capsule or the cell wall. Next, the plasma membrane, cytoplasm is present inside, ribosomes are there, naked DNA molecule are present there, means the nucleoid. Plasmid is there, flagella though I have told. Okay, one cell organelle mesosomes are present there, and the cilia like thing that are known as the pili or fimbriae, and the cytoplasmic inclusions also present there, this green structure. Okay, so let's start with the cell wall. So the bacterial cell are covered by a strong and rigid cell wall. In gram positive bacteria, the thickness is about 20 to 80 nanometer. So it lies just outside of the plasma membrane, and it provides the definite shape and protection against different mechanical injury. Okay, so the cell wall of this eubacteria are made up of peptidoglycan, and one acid is there, means one component is there, that is known as muramic acid. Okay, and the gram negative bacteria have another covering formed of lipopolysaccharide. So in gram negative bacteria, another lining, another covering is there, that is lipopolysaccharide, and lipopolysaccharides are adhesive in nature, and they can help the bacteria to adhere with the host cell.